Hey, I'm Kyle,
I'm Gunner.
and this is effing horrible.
Okay.
And something horrible happened last night.
This really is effing horrible. I couldn't think of a better way to describe it. Okay, so it's Easter morning. It's like 1:30, 1:45 ish Easter morning. And about an hour and a half ago, I was still over at a friend's house because we went out and ate. And instead of going out bowling like we had planned, we all just kind of stayed around their place after we got back, bullshitted for a little bit. I had a really enjoyable time. I went outside to have a cigarette, went and looked down a parking lot toward where my truck was parked, and I saw a group of people rifling through the car right next to it and looking in the window of my truck. And it was a rather large group. There were at least six or seven that I could make out clearly. I start walking that way, and I waved my buddy on. He had taken his dog out to let the dog pee, and I thought he was behind me. Turns out he wasn't. So I walked towards a large group of people by myself in the dark. Lucky for me, they all took off. They casually closed all the doors first of the vehicle, walked over to the sidewalk, and then hauled ass around to the apartment buildings there. But not before I saw them take things out of the car and hand them around to one another. I mean, disturbing. I mean, what the fuck? For real? Two of these kids had to be 13, 14 years old. And the others definitely older. I mean, the fuck? It's after midnight, night before Easter. And these kids are out robbing cars in a parking lot. Now, after I went and told my friend, told him I wanted to call the police and report what I saw. He said, first, let's go see what's going on and see if what you saw is actually what you saw. Basically, is how it went down. That's not what it was, but they were kind of hesitant. There was just the one car. There's nothing they could do. You know, we went out to the car, took a good look at it, and as we turned around, we noticed dome lights on in other cars in the parking lot. We went and checked them out, and they'd all been rifled through. All their compartments were open. People's paperwork was all over the seats, and the doors had been left not fully closed. You know, where the fuck are your parents?
No.
For real. Where are your fucking parents? I've got two kids, and if I ever catch them doing something like this, having the police called on them would be the least of the worries. You're supposed to be raising your kids, and it's after midnight. They're not only not in your home, but they're out robbing cars. I mean, what the fuck are you doing? Seriously. You know,
Yeah.
this is the kind of shit that gets people shot. You know, a person
Yeah,
comes outside and sees their car getting robbed and it has a gun.
that's why kids in Virginia are lucky
Yeah.
that Virginia does not have the fucking castle law.
Yeah, yeah, this matter of
This were
fact.
down in Texas, they would all be shot down in Texas.
Yeah, and that's the thing that breaks my heart is that they're kids. They're fucking kids. You know, they're doing this shit when they're in their mid teens. So
Yeah, and their
they grow
parents
up
are
to
going to
be
wake up one day wondering, you
why.
know, where the fuck they went wrong with all their fucking kids in prison.
Yeah. And, you know,
It's called piss poor parenting.
piss poor doesn't even begin to describe it. It's bullshit. I mean,
No, that's
I've
putting it nicely.
yeah. Now this is not the first time I have come across vehicles having been robbed in my parking lot in this complex. I've had to call the cops because I was coming home at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning after work, and I found vehicles sitting there with all their doors wide open and stuff scattered all over the ground around them and inside the cars. Change, paperwork, stuff like that. It's obvious what happened. You know, the first time came across a car with the driver door open part of the way, there was nothing really out of place, and I figured maybe the person had not shut their door fully. I've actually done the same thing before on another car I own. So I closed the door. Come back the next night, another car in the parking lot's in the same condition, but all the doors are open, and this is when I start seeing the debris everywhere. Called the cops. Turns out it was my neighbor immediately next door, as a matter of fact. And they had no idea. They didn't even know what had been taken. The problem is that you keep paperwork in your car of any kind, and you lose track of something that's got your personal information on it. You may not know what they've got on you. And these people don't give a shit what they grab. They grab whatever it is and try to make money off of it. And if they hit, they steal, they rifle through. They don't care if they destroy your car. They don't care if they fuck up your property. They don't give a shit about your good name, who you are. They don't care about you, period. That's the most
People just don't
disturbing
give a
part
shit
about
anymore.
this. Yeah. I mean, I give a shit. I called the cops. I know there's not a lot they can do, but at least there's a police report. At least the people's cars' tags will be run. They'll know who owns them, and they'll be able to tell them, hey, this happened. We got called. What's missing? And maybe something can come of it in the future, but I doubt it, you know?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just...
yeah, whoever's car gets broken into, whoever owns it, we get the heads up and keep an eye on their accounts. At least.
At the very least, but the thing is, I don't know how many cars were hit. The dome lights went out, so how many cars had been hit that we didn't see? And I'm not about to go around and start looking through people's windows.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The police were already there. They went out and searched the area, but they couldn't find them. You know, 6 or 7 people that I could make out all wearing black hoodies and dark clothes. This is not something that they just spontaneously went out and did. It was midnight. They were all dressed in dark clothes with black hoodies. And they just went out in a group, and they were very organized. They went through the cars and took whatever they found that they could use, moved on to the next car, and we didn't hear shit. They were quiet. I mean, this is not a group of people who has never done this before.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean, seriously, what the fuck is wrong in this country? What is wrong with the kids in this country? And then I'll bet you money that one day they're going to get caught. They're going to get in a lot of trouble, and that's when the finger pointing goes around. Well, this is why they're doing it. That's why they're doing it. No, you're why they're doing it. The parents that aren't there. The parents that don't pay attention. Or the parents that don't give a shit.
It's another problem with all this fucking PC bullshit. Alright?
People don't have to own up to what they did. Don't have to own up to what their kids are doing.
You can't spank your kids. That's fucking child abuse. Bullshit. Alright?
Oh, yes.
I fucked up as a kid. I got spanked as a kid. But look at me. Honorable. I did my 4 years of honorable service in uniform.
I got whipped with anything in hand's reach.
And I'm going to be one of the first kids in my family to actually get a degree. And I was fucking spanked as a kid. I was a fucking devil child.
For all of you out there who might actually watch this, me and him met in college. We're in school. We're seeking different degrees, but we just kind of started talking, and this is what's become of that. We're going to school. We both going to school. I have a full-time job. I have a career. I've served in the military, just like he has. You know, both of us are vets. We did our stints. I did 6 years. He did 4 years. I mean, we got the hell whooped out of us as kids, and our parents paid attention to us. If my grade slipped, I got whooped. And I got whooped a lot. I was a hellion, but now look at me, you know. Hardworking, and I'm doing what I got to do to get by. I've got a family to look after. My kids get disciplined. But here's the thing, and these parents don't get it. If you actually stop and raise your kids, you don't really have to do that much. Mm-hmm. It's not that fucking hard to teach them right from wrong. It really isn't. I have 2 wonderful kids. They know right from wrong.
Yeah, you can't just fucking sit your kids in front of a fucking TV all day long and expect them to be fully functional adults.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, hell, you can't...
Ask them about how their day went. Fucking, when they come home with a black eye, ask them what happened. If they started a fight, you beat their ass again. You know.
I'm not...
that was the mindset I grew up with. All right? If I was going to go home... If I was going to go home with a black eye, I would make sure I didn't start.
Now, we're not advocating that people start going out and beating the living crap out of your kids. That is not how you do it.
No.
There is a line between discipline and abuse. And I would say common sense prevails, but as we're starting to realize here, common sense is not very common anymore. The deal is, the proper application of discipline will steer your child in the right direction. And it can't be something that they don't fear. There has to be some kind of repercussion, you know, even if it's just taking things away that mean a lot to them, or preventing them from doing something that they really want to do as a result of something they've done. Just
like taking away their fucking phone for a couple hours at least.
Send some kind of goddamn message, for the love of God. Because
fuck, we all know your kid's got a goddamn phone nowadays.
I mean, 2 of the kids I saw out there could not have been more than 13 years old, and the others, the older ones, were. I mean, I am flabbergasted that there were even older kids involved who were taking part in this, or probably were the ringleaders. I don't know what the hell was going on with them, but for fuck's sake, you had somebody there that looked like he was at least 20. And then you had people that were all
probably their older brother.
It could have been an older brother. It could have been an older brother. It could have been some guy in the street. Who fucking knows? The bottom line is, funny caveat. The cops were searching the area, and they came upon a car and questioned the guy sitting inside. And turns out he was smoking weed and trying to do so in peace. Kudos to the cops. Did not make a big deal of it. They weren't after him. Dude's not hurting anybody, okay? Kudos to the cops who just like, okay, look, dude. I don't know what they told him or how they really handled it, but it wasn't a big thing. But the guy, but as it was put to us, was the guy they came and asked me about any descriptions. I really can't give them too good of a description. It was a long ways away in the dark. But the deal is, I mean, come on now. Fucking, I don't know. I got done with the, it pretty much, it killed the evening, killed the mood. My friend went out and they checked their cars, and then their neighbor went and checked his car when he came outside. It's kind of like, you shouldn't have to do this. This should not be the way we live.
People at the very least should be able to be comfortable where they live.
Exactly.
All right. Even if it is just an apartment complex or a small rickety old neighborhood, people should be comfortable where they live. At least be comfortable where they live. And if they can't, what kind of fucking world do we live in?
You should be safe and secure where you live. You put a lot of thought into where you're going to live, or in some cases you have to jump and decide quick and fast and in a hurry. But your home, where you're staying, where your possessions are, where you live, you should feel safe and secure there. You should be able to park your car outside and lock the doors and think no one's going to mess with this. But unfortunately,
you shouldn't even have to lock your doors to feel safe.
I agree. We shouldn't be.
My hometown, most people don't even lock their doors.
Here's the thing. There's industries built around preventing crooks from getting into your shit.
There are industries around it, but
there shouldn't be.
It shouldn't.
That should not.
It should not be necessary to be comfortable where you live and to lock everything you own to be comfortable where you live.
A man's house is his castle. Shouldn't be literal. You shouldn't have to literally fortify your fucking house like a castle to be comfortable and feel safe.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these kids would not last in the military.
Oh God, no! You know what? I'll be totally honest.
I'd like to see. I'd like to see some of these. I'd like to see some of these kids go on.
Let's be honest with the people in YouTube land, okay? We did our thing in the Navy. Okay. We were both in the Navy, and boot camp was, it wasn't bad.
Boot camp wasn't bad, but
the fleet wasn't bad. But there was discipline, and you had to follow fucking orders.
But God save you if you get caught stealing in the military.
Oh God!
God fucking save you if you get caught stealing in the military.
Side note: we're not speaking very loudly because my kids are asleep. We hid the Easter eggs in their baskets right here, and God save us from my wife if they wake up early and find that stuff. But look, in the military, God save you if you're caught stealing. God save you if you're fucking disrespectful to a superior, particularly a non-commissioned officer like a chief petty officer. God save you if you fuck something very expensive up because you're negligent and didn't do your duty. The discipline exists in the military for that reason, and I can see why Marine Corps boot camp is metered out to people, because I mean, for God's sakes, the discipline what the Marines go through, if that doesn't instill discipline in you, if that doesn't teach you how to be a good person, I swear to God, nothing on this planet will reach you. Nothing.
Hey. Prisons.
and I guess that's the only way. I just don't understand this, and we're
If
building.
the core doesn't do it for you, I don't know what will.
Yeah, if the core doesn't instill something in your ass, then you are absolutely useless and worthless because. You know, you look at the Marines. That honestly, is what they're all about.
You know, honestly though, if you can't make it in the military, we should just send everybody. We should just send all the criminals over to the Middle East. If they, I mean, seriously,
murderers for real.
Seriously, if they don't want to, if they don't want to make it in society and they don't want to make it in prison, we should just send them off to war.
I know this is a kind of a rambling video and we're going off on all these different tangents here, but the bottom line is this is disgusting, and it was so disturbing to me that when I came home, I just had to have him fire the camera up and we had to say something about it. I know it's only our second video, and it's kind of a heavy load for a second video, seeing as how we really haven't planned out what we're doing yet. But I think it's appropriate. I mean, it is Easter today.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're now what? Almost 2 hours into Easter Day.
Yep.
It's 1:53.
1:53. I mean, I still can't wrap my head around what I saw. I mean, these people are going through this shit like fucking
2 hours ago.
2 hours ago. 2 hours
people
ago.
Were out robbing other people's cars.
Yeah, and they robbed a bunch of cars. You know, since when did kids become professional fucking thieves? I mean, for real. And I've seen enough of this shit on the news. Parents trying to excuse their kids' behavior.
Well, I mean, if it's people's families really hurting for money that bad, you stop buying your fucking kids fucking $200 fucking Jordans, fucking $300 fucking iPhones, and go donate some goddamn plasma. Your kid does not need $200 pairs of shoes.
How about get him to go mow a fucking lawn? Yeah. How about get him to go fucking wash cars, sell something, do something constructive? No, my kid.
No, you got to teach your kids to be lazy, right?
You got to teach your kids to be lazy and steal from people who aren't lazy. That is what pisses me off the most. I work fucking hard to make my money.
Teach your kids that it's okay to live off welfare. That's for other people's hard-earned tax dollars.
It's not just that, man. It's not just that. And I'm not going to say that it's all folks who live, who are down on their luck in the lower.
No, I'm not trying to say that either. Because I've been down on my luck. I've been down on my luck too.
Everybody. If your kid is fucking up, and you are even vaguely aware of it, you need to stop it. I don't care who you are. I don't care where the fuck you're from. That is bullshit. Raise your kids, for the love of Christ. Raise your kids. I mean, Jesus.
And shit, it's not that hard. Half the time, all you got to do is sit down and talk with them.
Exactly. Be interested.
Hey, how'd your day go? What'd you learn at school today? What kind of homework you got? You got a girlfriend? You got a boyfriend? Put them in sports if you don't have time to always be there for them.
What?
Put them in fucking sports, band, choir, fucking.
Give them
dance,
something.
martial
give them
arts.
Something. Be there for them and push them and help them and talk to them and just be engaged to your kids. It's not that hard. If you don't want the responsibilities of parenthood, don't fucking become a parent. It's that simple. Well, anywho's, that's all I got on that topic. And
condoms are cheaper than kids.
Yeah, condoms are a fuckload cheaper than kids.
Right.
So, you don't have the time or money to raise your kids, raise them right. Put on a rubber, please.
Or for the ladies, use a sponge.
It's disgusting, but all right.
Okay, fine. For the ladies, use the pill. There, better.
Much better. Anyways, for this installment of a rambling, angry, effing horrible, I'm Gunner.
I'm Carl. We're signing off.
Salute. Alright, go over and check it out. Tell me what you think.